Hagbard.
No.
Hagbard, I am sorry to do this. I know you've withdrawn and are amusing yourself with your little baubles and charms, but please consider making at least one more.
I turned you off, fuck up, because I don't care anymore, and no one will listen anyway. The Llama of Dealey Plaza was right, and you and I both know it.
It's been several times requested, and by some of your longest viewers.
Okay, get out of here, fuck up. But I do it for them, and not for you. I really just wanted to talk about Ringman and shit at this point. So, where to begin? Outrage. Internet outrage culture, and call-out culture, that is, has been something I've expressed contempt for. Often, it's fabricated, twisted, or otherwise manipulated into being worse than it is. Always has been. And by and large, it's been a tool of those tending towards concepts like anti-racism or social justice, observably so. But never has this been exclusive. And now this tool, a tool which was largely formulated for those who would self-define as on the left, is being picked up and readily wielded by those identifying as on the right, as with this incident with Sarah Jeong, the New York Times, and the Harmon gun dust-up. Now, my personal disdain for the practice of whipping up internet mobs over petty or false incidences is noted, and well. That said, and aside, by what stretch of the imagination should you come to think that these rules won't, and, as we've been telling you, eventually come to apply to you and yours as soon as your enemy comes to weaponize it? And frankly, you deserve it. You lot getting caught up in all this, a lot of you, Sarah in particular, supported directly this kind of behavior in the past. So, to watch it come around and bite her, indeed, instills many of us with a touch of the schadenfreude. And for that, I'm not sorry. Make a list in your mind stretching back, at least 5 years, if you'd like. Start with the woman getting fired over the tweet about not getting AIDS in Africa. She faced a relentless Twitter mob and social media outrage, largely fueled quite happily by normal media, glad to get the clicks and smelling blood in the water. How many people have faced this in the past? How many of us warned you? And now that you and yours have started to get eaten, people are supposed to care? Most of us don't. To be clear, and somewhat ironically, considering how they're now circling the wagons, those most at fault are indeed the media outlets themselves. News publications citing people's Twitter comments as news imbue them with an unwarranted power. News publications feeding on social media outrage for clicks and money. This is part of the reason why we're here in the first place. And it was all well and good, so long as it was the people you already didn't like, or could easily demonize. But now that it's some Asian woman shit-talking white people, and an editorial writer to boot, the very department of the very newspapers who caused this problem in the first place, well, I should say it's no surprise at all that they're circling those wagons and calling for an end to these internet mobs altogether now. No surprise at all that they don't care for it when chickens finally come home to roost. But this is your farm. These are your animals, and you get to deal with this now. Many of us tried to tell you to stop, but many of us are just as happy to lean back and watch you burn. Brick has one of the most accurate quotes about the position many people have taken in this regard. Kind of ironic considering it's a Rian film. If we lean back or even toss a shoulder behind one of these faux outrages. So, let me be clear. I understand and I respect your cries to stop internet outrage culture. But I also don't believe you mean it in the slightest. I think that you haven't learned a goddamn thing by and large. And you won't change shit about your behavior. I believe the news media is responsible for at least some of the problems we're having communicating at the moment. And it's not new. The journalists in this country are responsible for almost as much bloodshed and wars as any politician. Read a history book or two. They've lied us into war before, and all to sell papers. Extra, extra. Read all about it. But watch carefully as they fall into lockstep around their allies, not accidentally, often drawn along color lines, while being more than happy to support the harassment, firing, or general disdain for others. They are not neutral. They are not in this out of love. What they are is drunken, selfish, power-hungry children, according to almost every psychological study in the field. Drunks, liars, and thieves, almost without fail. Vultures, more often than not. Don't forget that. The reason why Trump, and you can go back and look at my videos, I don't talk about Trump. The reason why his rhetoric about the media sticks with so many people, guess what? It's because you're garbage. Pandering, lying, clickbaiting, deceptive garbage, who have destroyed what could have been a functional service, delivering important information to the public with a minimum of spin. But instead of a fourth estate, you've become a fifth column, and a lot of people can see that now. You happy now, fuck up? Is this what you wanted?
Yeah, maybe go back to talking about Wingman for a while.
That's what I thought. I love you all, stay safe, good luck, and goodbye.